A widespread dense fog advisory happening this morning. More about that coming up for you in just a moment.
Right now this morning, conservative activist Charlie Kirk shot and killed at a Utah university, the latest on the investigation. And 2 students hurt in a Colorado high school shooting. The shooter is dead. What we're learning about this investigation. Today marks the 24th anniversary of 9/11. We'll have more on today's local remembrance ceremony. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Thursday, September 11th, 2025. A lot of news to get to, but first we will check in with News 8 Now meteorologist Art Jarrett. He is over there tracking our weather for us. Very foggy, really hard to see. Probably the hardest morning to see I've had ever.
Yeah, it's pretty bad out there right now. It'll continue to do so until 9 o'clock when it begins to lift for areas right by La Crosse along I-90 and eventually up along I-94 for Eau Claire. Eventually, once you get to the 11 o'clock hour, that's when it all breaks down. Folks that are to the west of us on the other side of the river there, that's when it'll also break down for you, depending on how close you are to La Crosse or Eau Claire. Getting into your forecast, you can see this continuing to move out. The winds are going to be shaping up from the east to west, and that's where that fog is going to continue to track out of the region. So gradually pushing that out of the air. So that's why we're seeing Eau Claire kind of linger a little bit longer than La Crosse. We'll also find that we'll see again the temperatures to warm up as well as we go right into Sunday. Upper 80s are in the forecast. And this week we could see some showers coming in Friday night as well as Sunday night, getting into your forecast with more rainfall coming in for next week. Current temperatures for you right now, well, 50s, pretty much widespread with the low 60s in your forecast as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Authorities are still working to piece together who's responsible for the shooting death of political activist Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. His death is being mourned by President Trump and a number of other political leaders. CBS's Torian Small reports.
Charlie Kirk, a right-wing political activist, died Wednesday after being shot in the neck at Utah Valley University.
I run the largest pro-American student organization in the country.
Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, an organization for young conservatives, was known for inviting and engaging in political debate on college campuses.
This incident occurred with a large crowd around. There was 1 shot fired and one victim.
President Trump announced Kirk's death on social media and ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff throughout the nation. At a Wednesday evening press conference, authorities said they are still working to piece together details surrounding the shooting.
The shot came from here on campus, from a location at a third, potentially from a roof, yes.
Authorities vowed to bring those responsible for the shooting to justice.
To whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law.
Kirk's death comes in the wake of a spate of recent politically motivated violence, including the assassination attempt of then presidential nominee Donald Trump in 2024 and the shooting of 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses in June. In Washington, a moment of silence was held for Kirk on the House floor. Kirk, 31, leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
Salt Lake City's FBI field office has set up a tip line for any information to help find a suspect. Law enforcement experts are weighing in on what makes outdoor events like that one so difficult to secure. News 8 Now Seth Padilla has more on the investigation and law enforcement response.
Alexandra, law enforcement experts we spoke with say the Charlie Kirk shooting shows how vulnerable outdoor events like this can be. Police say the shot came from up to 200 yards away, suggesting the shooter had significant skill. A retired NYPD detective says hitting a target at that distance would require training. Investigators are also analyzing the type of weapon used based on the shot's accuracy.
Open air events are tough. I mean, we saw that when President Trump was running for president. Because of the distance, I would imagine they're going to come up with some sort of a long gun here. But to make that kind of a shot from 200 yards, you'd have to be, pretty decently skilled at being able to take that shot.
Local politicians and candidates are condemning the shooting, including Representative Derek Van Orden and congressional candidate Rebecca Cook. This is still a developing story, so as updates come in, we'll be sure to update you. Reporting in the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now This Morning.
Thank you, Seth. And 2 students wounded after a shooting at a Denver area high school. The juvenile gunman opened fire with a revolver at Evergreen High School yesterday. Video showed terrified students fleeing. Police reached the scene within 2 minutes. The suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Memorial events are being held nationwide today as the country remembers the nearly 3,000 people who died on 9/11. CBS's Jared Hill reports from New York.
It's been 24 years since the September 11th terror attacks, a moment the nation will never forget.
We need to humanize what happened those 24 years ago.
Nearly 3,000 people were killed in the attacks after terrorists flew planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon in Northern Virginia, and a field in Pennsylvania where those on board Flight 93 stopped another plane from attacking the U.S. Capitol.
This is the World Trade Center site right here.
In Alabama, Chris Thylacker is continuing to tell the story. He served in Iraq and Afghanistan after the attacks. Now he teaches high school.
It's one of those watershed moments in U.S. history. It must be taught. The patriotic side of it, the messy side of it. It's a great rallying moment for what we can achieve when we decide to work together.
That unity on display this week aboard the USS Intrepid in New York, where teams of volunteers prepared meals to send to local food banks in the spirit of that day.
We weren't red states and blue states. We were just human beings helping one another.
For some first responders, the physical and emotional impacts linger.
I have a chronic sinusitis that became 9/11 certified. We all have our own variation of PTSD.
Christina Stanton is a 9/11 survivor. She and her husband lived just 6 blocks from the Twin Towers.
We evacuated within seconds, that second plane.
Now landmarks like these are part of her route as a New York City tour guide.
Being able to verbalize and to talk about it is something that's soothing for me.
Today, President Trump will mark the day at the Pentagon before attending the New York Yankees game in New York. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And flags are flying at half-staff around the nation in honor. They're also flying in half-staff at La Crosse as we take a live look here at Western Technical College's POW Memorial. You can see 3 flags there flying at half-staff. And Habitat for Humanity will host a community remembrance ceremony today called Pillars of Strength to honor vets and first responders. The event will be held outside of the next La Crosse Habitat houses, part of the Washburn neighborhood development at 9 a.m. The ceremony features a few local speakers and a performance by the Turbos St. Francis Choir. Wisconsin lawmakers are backing a bill that would expand what's taught in driver's education. If passed, it would require all approved driver's ed courses to cover bus safety, including student crossing, school bus lights, and when drivers must stop for a bus.
Most of it's common sense. I get that. But it's super imperative that we're setting our kids up for success and all of them know the standards that are expected and required of them.
The bill is going through committee currently. And the Vernon County Fair is underway. A one-day admission ticket costs $10 for adults, $5 for kids 6 to 15. Children 5 and under get in free. This year's Fairest of the Fair says there's plenty to go check out.
So I'm at the fair all week. We're all over the place. There's a lot of fun things happening. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. there's the modified antique tractor pull. And then Friday night at the grandstands is also the Badger State tractor pull at 6:30 p.m. and then Saturday night we kick off at 6 p.m. with the livestock sale.
The fair runs till Sunday. As part of the fair, community members walked to remember lost loved ones. The Amara Rose Foundation, families of victims and supporters walked the Vernon County Fairgrounds to honor those who died from substance abuse and fentanyl poisoning.
Losing a child is one of the most painful things anyone can go through, and we're all trying to keep their spirits alive and their memories bright.
If you'd like to support the Amara Rose Foundation, we have a link on our website. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, the Department of Labor launching an investigation into the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Some Americans could soon be in poverty because of Trump's tariffs, and Spotify launching a new feature. And when you need to start saving for retirement amid the cost of living crisis. We'll have that information for you as well. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. A TSA dog at the Pittsburgh International Airport has been voted cutest canine. The 2.5-year-old lab named Steeler, after the football team, of course, won by 500 votes. Steeler seemed happy with the blue ribbon honor. And for now, we are leaving you with a live look at the 9/11 memorial in New York City. Today, of course, marking 24 years since the attacks that claimed nearly 3,000 lives, a somber anniversary for our nation. President Trump set to commemorate the day at the Pentagon. Vice President Vance and the Second Lady will be at Ground Zero. Stay with us. We're back after this.
Tired of hard water and harsh chlorine? Maxwell White Water Conditioning brings you the all-new Dual Media Water Softener. Say hello to softer skin, luxurious hair, and water that feels amazing. Call Maxwell White today, where better water starts here.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado 1500 models. Visit HometownChevy.com.
For over 25 years, Window World's provided quality products for homeowners around the country, including windows and doors. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they'll never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable fiberglass construction that provides up to 4 times the insulation value of wood. When it comes time for new windows or doors, trust America's exterior remodeler. Trust Window World.
Fleet Farm's turning 70, and you're invited to the party. Join us September 12th through the 14th for a shot at over $170,000 in prizes and giveaways. We'll have a different giveaway for the first 500 guests each day. Free water bottles, can koozies, or hats. Plus, enjoy free hot dogs or snacks while you shop special anniversary deals store-wide. Don't miss our 70th celebration, September 12th through 14th at Fleet Farm. For more details, go to fleetfarm.com/anniversary.
For 100 years, Drury's Furniture in Fountain, Minnesota has been turning houses into homes. Family owned for 4 generations, community loved, and crafted with care because your home deserves the best. Shop now during our 100-year celebration and take advantage of store-wide sale prices and free delivery. Our gift to you. Celebrate a century of quality, style, and tradition. Find your perfect piece today. Drury's Furniture in Fountain, Minnesota. Shop now during our 100-year celebration. Family owned for 100 years.
At Sealands Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. Relax. We're more than just a flooring store. We're your partners that can create a home. Last a lifetime. Our flooring from Sealands is perfect for muddy feet
and water balloon fights.
Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. Let us help you find the perfect flooring because our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Maxwell White Water Conditioning is the Coulee region's trusted leader in water conditioning. From hardness to chlorine to iron, we eliminate it all for cleaner and healthier water. When you need the best, call the experts. Call Maxwell White.
Well, good morning to you as we get into your local forecast today. We're holding on to patchy to dense fog out there and is widespread, and that goes all the way until 9 a.m. for areas along I-90 until 11 a.m. for folks that are on I-94. So bear that in mind. Folks that are in Minnesota as well as Iowa, that's going to go similar to the locations you're near, whether it's Eau Claire or La Crosse. We're also going to find ourselves with that fog. You can see it. It is like pea soup out there for areas in Eau Claire. Look at that continue. You don't even see the buildings and the homes right behind those nice little businesses right there. You can see the pea soup here going on into La Crosse as well for this early morning. It has gotten pretty bad out there and continues to do so. With the light winds, it's going to stick with us as we go to the 11 o'clock hour, possibly for some folks. You'll see it lift as you go right into the 7 o'clock hour. You're holding it, and then it begins to lift by 9 o'clock for La Crosse and areas to the east. It's going to gradually lift there, and you can see that happening. Eau Claire holds it till 11 o'clock. Then they're going to find themselves with visibility of 12 miles, and it's going to look great. All right, so we get into it 50s and maybe some low 60s in the forecast right now. Getting into it, 57 degrees for Eau Claire. Once you get, I should say La Crosse, excuse me, once you get into the daytime, 78 degrees possibly with partly cloudy skies. But those clouds will increase on us today. Similar conditions, 58 degrees for Eau Claire, getting into 75 degrees and partly cloudy skies for the day. And those clouds will also increase for you guys. La Crosse, you can see it coming in. Cloud cover, fog, low cloud activity. Then we get into mostly cloudy skies. And getting into it for Eau Claire, you've got the cloudy skies, mostly cloudy skies and partly cloudy skies with increasing clouds going into the evening hours. We'll also find ourselves with highs today, 70s, maybe 68 for Medford, so 68 to about, say, 80 degrees in your forecast. And as we roll into it, Saturday's highs are going to be looking a little bit better. Look at that, increasing up to the upper 80s, possibly 89 degrees for Prairie du Chien. And then we take those numbers, we bring them back up, 78 degrees, upper 80s to finish out the week. Getting into next week, we're back down to the middle 80s. And of course, we see a 30% chance going in for Wednesday and Thursday. Back to you.
In our consumer news this morning, the government is investigating its own job data after major errors. The Department of Labor now looking into how the Bureau of Labor Statistics collects and reports economic data. It comes after the agency admitted it overestimated job growth by nearly 1 million people. The investigation will examine whether the Bureau's data collection methods are accurate. Some Americans could soon be greatly affected by President Trump's historic tariffs. The recent tariff hikes could increase the number of people living in poverty in the U.S. by nearly 1 million next year. According to a new analysis by the Budget Lab at Yale, that number also includes children. Nearly 36 million people were living in poverty at the end of last year. And Spotify is rolling out some high-quality lossless audio to 50 countries. U.S. customers are already getting access to that. It's free for premium subscribers, but you do have to turn it on manually for each device. When it comes to putting money away for retirement, experts recommend to start saving as soon as possible. Today, Jen Sullivan looks at the types of retirement accounts and how much you should be putting away every year.
The cost of living continues to rise, and that means you'll need more money for retirement. But when should you start saving, and just how much do you need?
There's really no such thing as too early.
Samuel Taub is an investing writer for NerdWallet. Earlier this year, they conducted a survey and found 39% of Americans said not having enough saved for retirement was a financial concern. The most common types of retirement accounts are an IRA, which is controlled by you, or a 401k, which is sponsored by your employer, and many companies will match what you put in.
IRAs typically don't cost anything to open. Even contributing a small amount if you're fresh out of college and waiting tables can still make a big difference down the line.
Here's how much Fidelity Investment suggests you have in savings. By 30, you should have 1 times your salary, and it goes up by age. By 67, you should have 10 times your salary in a retirement account. But a lot depends on where you live and your lifestyle.
If you're living in a high cost of living or even medium cost of living area, that number may be north of $1 million.
Go Banking Rates recently broke down how much you need to retire wealthy. In popular retirement communities like Prescott, Arizona, you need just over $1.8 million to retire for 20 years. In Naples, Florida, you need just under that. Other ways to grow your retirement savings is investing in the market or even cryptocurrencies.
Once you get older and closer to retirement, the general consensus is that you're supposed to shift your portfolio into safer assets like a heavier bond allocation in order to preserve your money against the possibility of a downturn.
A financial advisor can help you reach your retirement goals. I'm Jen Sullivan.
Northwestern Mutual studied a variety of factors and found the average number Americans believe they'll need to retire is $1.26 million. That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got an update on our forecast.
I'm sorry, Alexander. After hearing that guy like 5 times now, I'm just going to tell him that I had a house when I was working in restaurants. So there, get that. In fact, we get into it with dense fog advisory in play right now. We're going to hold on to this going on to the 9 o'clock hours for folks that are along I-90 and to 11 o'clock when we get into folks that are up along I-94. So we'll bear that in mind this early morning. It is a rough start. Look at this. It continues to get worse for Eau Claire as the morning progresses, and the roadways, people are taking their own sweet time. They're not zooming by this time because it's difficult to see what's going on out there. Even in Eau Claire, La Crosse, you're holding on to some pea soup out there now. You can't even see the river out in the distance there. And as you go right into it, you've got not only that, with the dry air that's over us currently, we've got moisture on the way from the west. That's going to push us into rainfall potential as we get into your Friday night. In fact, we may even see some of this get closer into areas by Eau Claire, Prairie du Chien, they have a chance of showers this early morning, and of course some sprinkles, and of course maybe even a little bit of mist and drizzle. We'll hold on to that for a lot of folks that are by the river. You're getting into some partly cloudy skies to eventually some cloudier skies as well for the day, so it'll be a mixed bag of clouds this afternoon. We'll hold on to similar conditions down to the south. You can see Prairie du Chien showing shower potential in the morning, giving way to at least some cloudiness as you go all the way up to the north just before you get into La Crescent. How about this though? You've got similar conditions. La Crosse, partly cloudy skies. You have Trempealeau at cloudy conditions. That's in the afternoon, going back into similar conditions for Osseo as well with the cloudiness. And then back up to the north, you're going to see a lot of folks that are holding on to the cloud cover up. Ladysmith has got that going on, as well as Weyerhaeuser. And then right back down into Eau Claire, you've got 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Get out and enjoy that. Light winds as well. And we'll see again with the conditions as we go into the afternoon, gradually finish out in the morning. Fog dissipates, opens up a few bats of stratus, and then gets out of the way. We get into sunnier skies, and eventually cloud cover comes back again. Even in the around the 9 o'clock hour, we're seeing some of that cloud cover and fog redeveloping back into it with partly cloudy skies, possibly to mostly cloudy skies in the overnight hours, giving way to this as we get into the early morning. Again, to finish out the morning hours, you've got 75 to 78 degrees out there. In fact, you'll even find yourselves with a little bit of moisture coming back again, coming from the west and crossing the river going towards Prairie du Chien. More rainfall back up to the north, storm activity as well in the forecast. That could cause a little bit of an issue as well, where we'll see the potential for more of these highs to get into the 70s and the 80s for our forecast, and cooking it up a little bit more so for Saturday. You've got upper 80s in the forecast to 80 degrees, 89 degrees, getting to near 90 for Prairie du Chien. And once we get into Sunday, they cool down a bit by Prairie du Chien, but we'll see La Crosse at 89 degrees possibly, and Eau Claire holding on to similar conditions as well. We'll hold on to maybe a couple of inches of rainfall or less in your forecast over the next 72 hours. Get out and mow your lawn. You've got a couple of good days to do that. And if you go right into it, you're also looking at temperatures going from 78 up to 89 degrees to finish the work week for La Crosse, and then cooler conditions will prevail as we get back into, I should say, milder conditions will prevail as we get into those low to middle 80s in your forecast. That means more of those conditions will be in the 70s and the middle 80s. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Coming up after the break, scientists finding that more children are now obese than underweight worldwide. We'll have the latest on their research.
Coming up in the Blitz, back and better. The Holman volleyball team is off to a hot start this season. Hear why the team has been able to start unbeaten. Next.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef for $6.69 per pound, or 85% for $6.49 per pound. Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Protect your home with Tundra seamless gutters and gutter helmet from Asher Lassen Exteriors. Our highly trained technicians can install the complete water management system for your home with our exclusive custom gutters, gutter helmet, and helmet heat. Gutter helmet is filter free, so it will never clog, guaranteeing you'll never clean your gutters again. Use promo code 20 and receive up to 20% off your entire project. Plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months. Connect with the Asher team today and request a free, no obligation consultation at goasher.com or call us at 888-GO-ASHER.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More mattresses. Did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping? So you better have the best mattress you possibly can. And we have those here at King Furniture with a huge selection to choose from in every price range. Lay down and relax. Take the time to find the exact mattress you want, because you're going to be sleeping on this for a while. King Furniture. Nice people, nice furniture.
The Good Feet store just really helped me out. I mean, they gave me the right arch support for my feet, not somebody else's feet. Then it was like, okay, this is something special.
See for yourself with the free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
So that no matter what mess you brought into this church today, no matter what addiction and what struggle, no matter how many times you've doubted God or questioned God, that because of Jesus Christ, God's not holding it over your head. Instead, there is this amazing grace, there is this unconditional love that you and I can say, God doesn't just put up with us. God loves us.
Join Pastor Mike Novotny each Sunday. Watch Time of Grace on Channel 8, WKBT.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Taking you right inside the action, Friday Night Prep.
Every Friday night at 10, right here on News 8.
News 8 Now, Sports.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, it was the Brewers who kind of adopted the whole power of friendship mantra as the reason as to why they've been playing so well this season, but you won't find many high school volleyball teams in the state having more fun together right now than these Holmen Vikings. And when you're 11-0, how can you not be having a good time? Fresh off a trip to the state tournament last season thanks to an impressive postseason run as a 6th seed, Holmen looks strong with the core of last year's team back and more experienced. And with that, the Vikings have gone from the Hunters to the Hunted, which their head coach says makes the team bring their best day in and day out.
Yeah, it's worse. You know, you've got to stay on top. You can't let your guard down. And, you know, you got to come in with the intentions every day to get a little bit better. So that's what we try to do. Again, that's why we don't talk about what's too far ahead from us and just talk about match by match. So.
Starting as a varsity assistant in 2021, Coach Rose took over the reins of the program last year. She's built a special bond with Macy Klein and Charlie Casey, who were on varsity as freshmen. Now seniors, the two are doing their best to embrace every moment of their final season.
I mean, this season has been so fun. I think we're off to a great start because we're all so comfortable with each other and we know how we can push each other and how to encourage each other and keep moving in the right direction. So I think just the fact that we're all so close keeps our team moving.
Yeah, we know coming into this year, like our team dynamic is super fun, energetic, and kind of that's how we do things. So we've kind of started on a high note in conference, out of conference, kind of at our tournaments. So our key things have been having a lot of fun and making a statement early. So that makes the game even more fun for us.
And it is another tough test for the Vikings tonight as they're matched up against Onalaska with first serve scheduled for 7 o'clock from Hilltopper Country. And voting is live for our News 8 Play of the Week, the second edition of the new school year. So head to our website, news8000.com. Under the Sports tab, click on Play of the Week and pick the one you like most. That'll do for the Blitz. So we'll see you back here later tonight.
Huge selection of rugs and cowhide under the white tent next to Carl's Appliance in Onalaska. Multiple sizes, including round rugs and so much more. Hurry in. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind sale.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
The leaves are falling. The gutters are filling. And Menards has everything you need to fix up your yard. From last-minute repairs to prepping your plants for next year. We have what you need to take the stress out of fall's mess. Head into Menards today and get everything you need to make this year's fall cleanup a breeze. Save big on lawn supplies now with an 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I do like knowing the person that's sitting across from my desk. I've formed a lot of relationships over the years based on trust. When I see the look on a member's face, when I say, yes, this loan is good, you're good to go, it makes me happy. To me, being the team you can trust is honesty. When you do a loan with me at Firefighters Credit Union, like everything we do, it's not about the car, it's about you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
It's Hy-Vee's one-day sale. Friday, September 12th. One day only. Hy-Vee butter, just $2.99. Fresh ground chuck, $4.88 a pound. Dole chopped or premium salad kits, $2.48. Starkist chunk light tuna, just 69 cents. Mrs. Grimes chili beans, just 77 cents. Plus, get great deals on Bird's Eye vegetables, Lunchables, and P3. Lots of matzo pizza and more. Save in-store and online. Friday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
The era of digital advertising is upon us, and it's moving fast. As a business owner, you've probably struggled understanding what it all means. That's where we can help. Phase 3 Digital is your local digital agency that can help you understand the digital world, the products available, and how to use them. So if you have digital questions, we have answers. Call Phase 3 Digital today at 608-793-4522 or visit our website at p3da.com/lacrosse.
Huge selection of rugs and cowhide under the white tent next to Carl's Appliance in Onalaska. Inventory is priced to sell, so stop in today. Multiple sizes, including round rugs and so much more. Hurry in, don't miss this one-of-a-kind sale.
Call Hupy and Abraham. They really do mean business.
Widespread dense fog out there this early morning. Please be careful. More about this coming up in just a moment.
Right now this morning, conservative activist Charlie Kirk shot and killed at a Utah university. We'll have the latest on the investigation. 2 students hurt in a Colorado high school shooting. The shooter is dead. We'll tell you what we're learning. Today marks the 24th anniversary of 9/11. Coming up, we'll have more on today's local remembrance ceremony. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Thursday, September 11th, 2025. A lot of news to get to, but first we will check in on our weather with News 8 Now meteorologist Art Jarrett. Art, you can't even see behind you now. It is getting worse.
Yeah, it is getting worse right now.
Wow.
In fact, it's picking up as we go into it here. You're going to see this go all the way to the 9 o'clock hour for La Crosse, and by 11 o'clock it should be cleared out for Eau Claire and areas to the west of it as well. We'll see this continue to back down gradually. You're seeing by the time you get into the 9 o'clock hour, La Crosse is at 7 miles of visibility, so that's much better, but areas to the west of the river are still in dense fog. They'll get out of that as well eventually as Eau Claire gets out by the 11 o'clock hour as well, back to 12 miles visibility. Clouds will increase later on today. We'll get into partly cloudy skies with some sunshine to cloudy skies in your forecast, giving way to warmer temperatures all the way into Sunday as well. Upper 80s in the forecast to near 90-degree heat. And in fact, we'll see some showers possibly Friday night going into your Saturday, I should say your Sunday night as well. And we'll also find ourselves getting into temperatures right now in the widespread 50s. You'll also pick up again the possibility of those clouds diminishing gradually for Eau Claire, getting into the afternoon with some mostly cloudy skies, while La Crosse, on the other hand, has some fog, gets out of it sooner, and it gets back into partly cloudy skies to sunnier conditions, and those 70s still linger. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Authorities are working still this morning to piece together who's responsible for the shooting death of political activist Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. His death being mourned by President Trump and a number of other political leaders. CBS News' Torian Small has the latest.
Charlie Kirk, a right-wing political activist, died Wednesday after being shot in the neck at Utah Valley University.
I run the largest pro-American student organization in the country.
Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, an organization for young conservatives, was known for inviting and engaging in political debate on college campuses.
This incident occurred with a large crowd around. There was one shot fired and one victim.
President Trump announced Kirk's death on social media and ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff throughout the nation. At a Wednesday evening press conference, authorities said they are still working to piece together details surrounding the shooting.
The shot came from here on campus, from a location at a third, potentially from a roof, yes.
Authorities vowed to bring those responsible for the shooting to justice.
To whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law.
Kirk's death comes in the wake of a spate of recent politically motivated violence, including the assassination attempt of then presidential nominee Donald Trump in 2024 and the shooting of 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses in June.
In Washington, a moment of silence was held for Kirk on the House floor. Kirk, 31, leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
Salt Lake City's FBI field office has set up a tip line for any information to help find the suspect. And law enforcement experts are weighing in on what makes these outdoor events so difficult to secure. News 8 Now Seth Padilla has more on the investigation and law enforcement response. Seth.
Alexandra, law enforcement experts say that we spoke with that the Charlie Kirk shooting shows how vulnerable outdoor events like this can be. Police say the shot came from up to 200 yards away, suggesting the shooter had significant skill. A retired NYPD detective says hitting a target at that distance would require training. Investigators are also analyzing the type of weapon used based on the shot's accuracy.
Open air events are tough. I mean, we saw that when President Trump was running for president. Because of the distance, I would imagine they're going to come up with some sort of a long gun here. But to make that kind of a shot from 200 yards, you'd have to be, pretty decently skilled at being able to take that shot.
Local politicians and candidates are condemning the shooting, including Representative Derek Van Orden and congressional candidate Rebecca Cook. This is still a developing story, so as updates come, we will be sure to update you. Reporting live in the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
All right, Seth, thank you. And 2 students hurt after a shooting at a Denver area high school. The juvenile gunman opened fire, police say, with a revolver at Evergreen High School yesterday. Video showed terrified students fleeing. Police reached the scene within 2 minutes. The suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And memorial events being held nationwide today as the country remembers the nearly 3,000 people who died on September 11th, 2001. CBS's Jared Hill has more from New York.
It's been 24 years since the September 11th terror attacks, a moment the nation will never forget.
We need to humanize what happened those 24 years ago.
Nearly 3,000 people were killed in the attacks after terrorists flew planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon in Northern Virginia, and a field in Pennsylvania where those on board Flight 93 stopped another plane from attacking the U.S. Capitol.
This is the World Trade Center site right here.
In Alabama, Chris Thylacker is continuing to tell the story. He served in Iraq and Afghanistan after the attacks. Now he teaches high school.
It's one of those watershed moments in U.S. history. It must be taught. The patriotic side of it, the messy side of it. It's a great rallying moment for what we can achieve when we decide to work together.
That unity on display this week aboard the USS Intrepid in New York, where teams of volunteers prepared meals to send to local food banks in the spirit of that day.
We weren't red states and blue states. We were just human beings helping one another.
For some first responders, the physical and emotional impacts linger.
I have a chronic sinusitis that became 9/11 certified. We all have our own variation of PTSD.
Christina Stanton is a 9/11 survivor. She and her husband lived just 6 blocks from the Twin Towers.
We evacuated within seconds, that second plane.
Now landmarks like these are part of her route as a New York City tour guide.
Being able to verbalize and to talk about it is something that's soothing for me.
Today, President Trump will mark the day at the Pentagon before attending the New York Yankees game in New York. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And flags are flying at half-staff around the country, also in La Crosse today. That includes at Western Technical College as we take a live look here. The POW Memorial on campus joining those sites and remembering the victims. You can see 3 flags here flying at half-staff on this foggy morning. And Habitat for Humanity hosting a community remembrance ceremony called Pillars of Strength to honor veterans and first responders. That event will take place outside of the next La Crosse Habitat houses, part of Washburn Neighborhoods Development. That's at 9 o'clock this morning. The ceremony will feature a few local speakers and a performance by Viterbo's St. Francis Choir. Wisconsin lawmakers, meanwhile, backing a bill that would expand what's taught in driver's ed. If passed, it would require all approved driver's ed courses to cover bus safety, including student crossing, school bus lights, and when drivers must stop for a bus.
Most of it's common sense. I get that. But it's super imperative that we're setting our kids up for success and all of them know the standards that are expected and required of them.
The bill is going through committee currently. La Crosse is moving closer to creating a new city administrator position. A working group met to finalize a public survey about that idea. They want feedback before city council votes on the position in February. The administrator would take over some of the mayor's duties. The job comes with an estimated salary of $248,000, including benefits.
We've heard from many people that the public feels that they're not informed about some of the decisions that the city is making. And this is a big decision. The city administrator would be a full-time position. It's expensive.
Last week, the mayor proposed adding a director of operations. That role is similar to the city admin, but would report directly to the mayor rather than the council. The first engagement sessions will take place September 30th. In our medical news, a new UNICEF report finds more school-age children are obese than underweight worldwide. Obesity now exceeds underweight children in all regions except sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. The highest obesity rates are in Pacific Island nations, Chile, and the United States. In wealthy countries, children from poorer families are more likely to be overweight. Researchers say this is likely due to access to unhealthy foods. Now we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got an update on our morning commute. It is a very foggy commute this morning, Art.
Yeah, I want to tell folks to maybe start their day a little bit earlier, but I sure didn't really do that this morning as well. So I'm going to push this up a little bit farther for the alarm and get out today. In fact, where you're looking at this fog, it's going to linger till 6. You'll see about 9 o'clock this morning for La Crosse and areas to the west, and then up by Eau Claire up till 11 o'clock, and then areas to the west up there as well, and the north. You'll get back into it here as you go through Eau Claire. It is like, wow, that is just something else. And the roads doing better. Some folks are getting out there, kind of zooming down just a tad bit. But you also find, look at La Crosse. You can almost not see it. Without the lights, you probably wouldn't even be seeing anything. Much different from the live shot we just had here going through the cloud cover right now, as you can see. All right, that continues on. 6:45 still happening right about now. We get into it here. You get into the 7 o'clock hour. Still dense fog for La Crosse and a whole lot of other folks up there. Eau Claire is at 1 mile of visibility. By the time we get in the 9 o'clock hour, La Crosse gets out of that fog, but Eau Claire is now in dense fog. They've got that going all the way until about the, well, we'll call it about, say, about 10 o'clock, 10:30. Then they begin to clear out skies as well as everybody else. Current temperatures for you still holding on those 50s. 61 by Marshfield, but down to the south, we're looking at middle 50s down there. 58 for La Crosse, Eau Claire 57. And as you get into it, you can see the school forecast for the kids going to school this early morning. Sunshine will prevail later on today with 78 degrees for La Crosse. Partly cloudy skies with increasing clouds through the day. Eau Claire, on the other hand, will have 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Get out and enjoy that and have a marvelous day. We'll also find ourselves getting into that sunshine again with those clouds, as I just mentioned, increasing.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's Age.
All right, Max is turning 8. He loves swimming, fishing, and, well, cracking up with his big brother and Jack and his mom and dad.
Happy birthday, Max. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 1880, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
Well, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures right under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. Just ahead, Oktoberfest Ladies Luncheon is back. We're talking to this year's featured speaker after the break.
Protect your home with Tundra seamless gutters and gutter helmet from Asher Lasting Exteriors. Use promo code 20 and receive up to 20% off your entire project. Plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months. Request a free, no obligation consultation at goasher.com.
Style or substance. Somehow it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR with a total value of over $5,800 on this Sierra 1500 model. We are professional grade.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar. For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
We see you out there making the most of every moment.
Happy birthday, buddy.
One big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Right now, during our 70th anniversary sale, Victor Allen's Farmer's Blend Brew Cups, $13.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. And Rewards members get a free $15 gift card with a $75 purchase of Hill's Science Diet Pet Food and Treats. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
For 100 years, Drury's Furniture in Fountain, Minnesota has been turning houses into homes. Family owned for 4 generations, community loved, and crafted with care because your home deserves the best. Shop now during our 100-year celebration and take advantage of store-wide sale prices and free delivery. Our gift to you. Celebrate a century of quality, style, and tradition. Find your perfect piece today. Drury's Furniture in Fountain, Minnesota. Shop now during our 100-year celebration. Family owned for 100 years.
I lost my son to an accidental drug overdose. This is why we created the George IV Recovery Foundation, to champion drug use awareness funding, and solutions so we don't lose any more kids. You know, there's an effective, simple solution. Narcan kits help save lives in seconds. They're required in schools in many states, but sadly, not in Wisconsin. Help us become the next state to implement them and save lives. So please call your state senator today.
Increase your home's energy efficiency and enjoy year-round comfort with Asher Lassen Exteriors. Enjoy huge savings today. Buy one, get one 40% off. Plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months. Request a free, no-obligation consultation at goasher.com.
Well, good morning to you as we get into it. If you're just waking up and joining us, we have patchy to dense fog out there. And man, it is like pea soup. Believe me, zero visibility over there near Black River Falls, so please be careful there. Start your day a little bit earlier. Try to get the kids out a little bit sooner as well if that's possible. We're looking at this fog to linger till 9 o'clock for areas right along I-90, and then eventually for areas along I-94, you've got that going on till at least 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock this morning. Look at that. That is just something else. That's Eau Claire there. Yep, Eau Claire, you there? That's you. And you're also looking at portions of City Hall, or I should say City Cam. You're looking at La Crosse right across the street from us here, and man, look at that fog out there right now. You can actually see the trees now, so things are starting to show up a little bit. We have dry conditions right now, but if you look to the west, we have more moisture coming in from the west again, and that's going to usher in some rainfall potential possibly as we get into Friday night. But we also have Prairie du Chien may get a little bit of shower activity out of that this early morning, so please be careful about that with the slick roadways for you. We'll also find ourselves going to the 11 o'clock hour where the clouds start to dissipate, so Eau Claire gets into clearing skies. Then eventually that stratus gets out of the way. We get clear skies, sunny to partly cloudy skies for you up there in Eau Claire, partly cloudy skies for La Crosse. Temperatures in the 70s, upper 70s in the forecast. I suggest La Crosse will probably get about 78 degrees out of that. And then we get into the evening. We're going to hold on to that cloud cover, probably coming back again, slowly but surely, coalescing again for more fog to come back. Patchy to dense fog this time, I should say, possibly getting into the 11:45 hour. You see it clearing up by Ladysmith by then. Maybe a little light sprinkle coming in from areas from the west, crossing the river as well, going towards Prairie du Chien, possible as well as Viroqua. And then eventually we'll see those clouds return. Storm activity well to the north. You can see that crossing still in the Great Lakes. And then eventually we'll hold on to temperatures in the 70s, low to middle 80s in your forecast for Friday, giving way to some Friday night storm activity and some showers. Saturday in the early morning hours, the wee hours, you'll have some showers and storm activity still moving in your area, but then you're going to dry out for a day of some upper 80s in the forecast. Look at the Prairie du Chien, about 89 degrees for you. We get into Sunday, we have temperatures now, and 89 gets up to La Crosse, and Eau Claire is about 82 degrees. We'll see other locations holding on to the middle 80s as well, some 70s popping in the picture there, then giving way to some pretty decent weather. Storm activity coming in for Sunday, going into Sunday, I should say Sunday night, going into the morning for Monday as well. How about this though? We've got rainfall kicking in, about 2 inches or less over the next 72 hours. Then we find ourselves with a good time to get out and mow that lawn. How would you like to mow my lawn? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, giving way to conditions to be like that. I'm sorry, that's a Caddyshack joke for me. Holding on to possibilities of increasing temperatures all the way into Sunday. Then we go past that and we see temperatures starting to cool down a bit. Getting back into those mild, warm 70s and 80s in your forecast. So please be safe out there. Have a wonderful day. You notice there's rainfall almost every day of some state getting into Monday all the way into Thursday.
Thank you, Art. New this morning, tickets are on sale now for one of Oktoberfest's most beloved traditions, the Ladies' Luncheon. We're joined this morning by this year's featured speaker, comedian, and author, Lisa David Olson. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I swam through the fog to come and say hi.
I know. Okay, we're glad you could make it safely. So tell us about this tradition. What happens at the Ladies' Day Luncheon?
It's a fantastic event. It is sponsored. There's many sponsors. There is Bloody Marys. There's a fancy lunch. And there's myself, the speaker, as well as a great way to mingle with the family, the royal family, Oktoberfest people near and far, all gather just to wrap up the whole event of the week.
Okay, sounds like a great time.
So what's the atmosphere like? You've kind of put a little view of it. What do you think it's going to be like?
I think it's going to be a lot of EI, oh yeah, because there will be people in the fancy outfits, the dirndls, the lederhosen, and things like that. Other people are going to wear that dress. They don't know where else they could wear it, or the fancy suit. So it's going to be a party atmosphere during the day.
Okay, wow. So it is a little bit of a fancy event then. People get dressed up.
It can be, or show up in your flip-flops.
Wear what you want.
What the heck? Just show up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, here's some video from years past. We see people there in some traditional German gear. And your program is called Untangle My Pretzel and How Do You Wash Lederhosen? What can we expect from that?
I am an interactive speaker, so I use my many years of improvisation through Heart of Lacrosse. So we have all kinds of comedy. I'm going to have a little bit of storytelling. I'm a prank enthusiast, and I am interactive, but my guarantee is I do not scare the introverts. So it will be interactive, fun. Participate at your level of comfort, but laughter is going to be at that luncheon.
Okay, well, we can tell that already.
She's been cracking up with our producer all morning long.
Heck
It's
yeah.
hilarious. Hey, how do you get tickets?
Just go to Oktoberfest USA, and you need to get those before September 22nd.
Okay, so that's approaching there. We've got some of the ticket information there. And we know it's a tradition. The ladies' luncheon is closing out Oktoberfest, but it's not just for women, right? Men are welcome to attend too.
We even let the boys in. You know, it's called Ladies' Day Luncheon because it's been put on by the Mrs. Oktoberfest. So that's the name of it. And so I think for a long time people thought it was only a girl thing. No, we want everyone to show up. You saw from that clip, it's a mix of everyone. So
yes, everyone
it's a
is
great
there.
wrap up to Oktoberfest this year.
Yeah, I almost thought it was all ladies for a second too until we saw the clip. Yeah.
Good thing we're talking about it.
Yeah, you're glad the men are invited. So we saw some music in the clip as well. And what kind of food or other things can we expect from the event?
Since it's at the Cargill room at Waterfront, you know it's going to be wonderful food. And there's vendors there, so you can expect to do a little looking around, shopping kind of thing. And it's 11:30 to, I think, 1 or 1:30. So it is a great afternoon event. Awesome Monday, and everyone should be there.
Now, some of these events have little games or things that people can win, prizes, things like that. Do you guys have that as well?
I'm glad you said the word prizes. Yes, there's door prizes. So there's absolutely going to be things you can purchase, things you can win, and like I said, a very fancy lunch at the Waterfront Cargill room.
Okay, sounds great. And why would you encourage someone, you know, maybe who's been hearing about this for years, they haven't quite made it out, why would you encourage them to attend this year?
I love that question because it's community. Because people that we don't know, we could go there and leave with a new friend. And you know, for the longest time we couldn't be in person. We need to continue celebrating events in person because you never know how many events are going to be offered. And I think that this is a great time to go, and the weather's going to be perfect, right?
Sure.
Of course it'll be perfect. He's
heard it
working
here.
on it, right? He's got a couple more weeks to work on it.
Exactly.
All right, Lisa. Well, anything else you want to say before we go? We've got a couple more seconds left.
I just want you to go to oktoberfestusa.com, grab those tickets. We thank all the sponsors, and I can't wait to see the royal family on Monday, the 29th.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you both.
Of course, stay with us. We're back right after this.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef for $6.69 per pound or 85% for $6.49 per pound. Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills.
Mike Rowe here with a name every homeowner should know, Groundworks. Now, I've spent time with these guys, and I'll tell you, they handle basement waterproofing and foundation repair like no one else. They're trained, certified, and committed to making your experience great. You want to protect your biggest investment? The name to know is Groundworks.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Call us today for a free inspection.
The Ultimate Fan would know that the Packers played their first ever road game in Ishpeming, Michigan.
An Ultimate Fan would know that Coach LaFleur was the 15th head coach and that he won 7 out of his first 8 games.
If anyone should decide who the Ultimate Packers fan is, I should make that call.
Coach LaFleur?
Could you make the cut and become the Quick Trip Ultimate Packers fan presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar?
Hey, Ultimate Packers fans, your fan zone points could earn you 5 times the points. Details at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Go, Pack, go! Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks.
like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado 1500 models. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Yeah, boy. They run you all over,
Taking you right inside the action, Friday Night Print. Every Friday night at 10, right here on News 8.
First Warn Weather on News 8 Now.
Okay, let's see. Headlines from News 8 Now? Check. Live updates all day? Check. Local breaking news? Yep. Weather every 10 minutes? Yes, please. Well, that was an easy choice. News 8 Plus. It puts the now in your day.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time. Alexandra Carter on News 8 Now. The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Movie props from Jaws are making a splash in LA. Jaws, the exhibition, is now open at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. More than 200 artifacts are on display, many never shown to the public before. It celebrates the film's 50th anniversary since its 1975 release. It is 6:54, time for your morning news now. This morning, the manhunt continues for the gunman who killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He was shot yesterday while speaking to a crowd at Utah Valley University. Politicians from both parties are condemning the killing as the FBI continues its investigation. J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Utah today. And flags flying at half-staff around the country and in La Crosse today, including at Western Technical College. That is where we are taking a live look. As you can see through the fog, 3 flags here flying at half-staff, remembering the victims of 9/11. And Habitat for Humanity will host a community remembrance ceremony today called Pillars of Strength to honor veterans and first responders. That event will be held outside of the next La Crosse Habitat houses, part of the Washburn development, set for 9 o'clock this morning. The ceremony features a few local speakers and a performance by Viterbo's St. Francis Choir. 2 students wounded after a shooting at a Denver area high school. The juvenile gunman opened fire, police say, with a revolver at Evergreen High School. Video showed terrified students fleeing and seeking help at nearby homes. Police reached the scene within 2 minutes of the 911 call. The suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at the hospital.
We just had a 3-bird flyby going through all this fog right there. I was like, what was that? Hey, we get into it here. This dense fog is going to linger for La Crosse all the way to about the 9 o'clock hour, and that'll start to fade out, lift up. We'll see Eau Claire holding onto their fog until about 11 o'clock this morning, giving way to sunshine. Partly cloudy skies expected with increasing clouds to the cloudy skies, and then eventually we'll see some rainfall coming in for Friday night going into Saturday morning, and then eventually you see the same thing again for Sunday night going into Monday with more showers and storm activity for next week. Be safe.
All right, happy to see those high 80s. I don't know, I might be the only one, but you've got one fan at least of those
Thank
high
you very
80s.
much. I appreciate
think you're
that.
looking forward to it too, right?
I maybe about 87.
87 is where you draw the line. All right. Thank you for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here at noon.